Reynolds. I'm a CTO in video technology, and I'm here at Connected Media IP at the NAB Show 2019. I am joined by Luke Gaydon, who is now the VP Marketing, Solutions, and Innovation for Accedo. Yes, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was perfect.
So tell me, what are you looking forward to most at the NAB Show?
That is a great question, because typically you are at your booth all day, you have lots and lots of meetings, and you hardly ever get out and see what's going on. And so which is sad, because you come to this incredible show and there's all this amazing technology and people doing really cool things, and you go home and you never saw any of them. What I really want to do is drop by the Dolby booth, because they are playing Queen music. Have you heard it?
Oh, wow.
They're playing like We Will Rock You and Bohemian Rhapsody at 11.
Fantastic.
So that's where I'm going. Yeah. And I don't know what it is that they're doing.
So you're looking for some
loud
rock and roll
music.
up to 11.
Yeah,
All right,
exactly.
I love that. Okay.
Exactly.
So I've known Accedo for years, and you're a video cloud platform, but for the people who don't know Accedo, can you give us a bit of background?
Sure. So Accedo's been going about 10 years now. We're a Swedish company headquartered in Stockholm. We're about 500 people. We primarily work with large media and entertainment brands, broadcasters, operators, and we build beautiful multi-device, multi-screen, multi-platform applications for them. Lately, we've been kind of branching out into some different verticals. We've just launched a sports solution, which we're very excited about.
So tell us more about the sports solution.
I joined Accedo 12 months ago, and we should have launched a sports solution ages ago, because we've got loads and loads of amazing sports clients. We've done a couple of Olympics. We worked on the Moscow World Cup. We work with ESPN. We've worked with Turner Sports. But we've just kind of been quite quiet about it. So I think from a kind of customer reference point of view, and also knowing how to build a great sports experience, we have all of that. So it was great to be able to have an opportunity to kind of take that experience and put something out into the market that is very focused on what I think is, and I'm a sports geek, so this isn't a completely objective perspective, but I think sports is one of the most interesting spaces that we're dealing with today when you think about whatever we're doing here, OTT, broadcast, call it what you will.
That's great. So moving into sports, clearly you're facing a different set of challenges. What are the biggest things that you're facing doing that?
That's an interesting question. I suppose I think with sports there is a passion and
it might be called an insanity, but
I mean, you let the fan down at your peril.
Yes, absolutely.
So there is a responsibility there that kind of weighs quite heavily. But again, I think it's that passion that makes it so exciting. So you have, on the one hand, these very, very passionate fans. You don't want to disappoint them. You want to make sure that their expectations are met. Their expectations are changing the whole time. And so that is a real challenge. I don't know if you've read, there's a really interesting report by Copa 90 called The Modern Football Fan. Well worth a read. The way that, and this is specific to football, that's soccer, sorry, we're in America. The way that different age groups are now consuming football as a sport is extraordinary. They, when you get down to a certain age group, none of them are actually watching the whole 90 minutes. They're watching clips via private messaging clients. It's a very, very different model to the one that I grew up with, which is you either go to the game or you sit down and you watch it in the sitting room, and that's it.
Yeah, they're saying that sports for linear is an aging population, and
completely.
You're saying not only is younger watching it on OTT, but it's in a completely different way.
Completely different. If you are under 30, you probably don't watch the whole game, and if you're over 30, you do. It's kind of that cut and dried. And then I think the other thing that I love about sports, and again it comes back to the passion of the fans, is the sort of depth of content that is created around sports. If you're not a sports fan, it's the endless analysis and data and whatever. And if you are a fan, like you can't you can't get enough of it, and B, there's so much of it. So whether it's pre-match analysis, whether it's social media feeds, whether it's reading up about your favorite player, it's blogs, it's all of these things. There is just a richness to the content around, if you will, just the live game that is really compelling, I think.
So, in the next year, how do you think things are going to change, both for the sports landscape and for you?
Well, hopefully this time next year, everybody will be using our sports solution.
Excellent.
And my work will be done. So how do I think it's going to change? That's a really difficult question. I think you wonder how long, or you wonder sort of what the end point of the cost of sports rights is. Like,
yes.
I think actually the Premier League, I think, had a dip last year, so it didn't cost as much as it did the year before. But there's a huge amount of money being spent on these content rights. Is that sustainable in the long term? You then have all of these different ways of engaging with sports content. You have all of these different people creating sports content or content about sports around those rights. Are we going to see different ways of those being consumed? We've done a lot of work around augmented reality, which is not here yet, and that's fine. But it's getting closer, and when it lands, that's going to be game changing, I think. And so I would really love to be here in 12 months, and we're all wearing like really cool, sunglasses type, wearables, and you and I are like doing an AR thing right now.
Well, could you bring that next year?
Yeah, I'll bring it. We'll get with the glasses guys, and we'll be right there.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, that would be exciting.
Well, thank you so much for joining us
You're welcome.
at Connected Media IP, and I look forward to next year and the augmented reality glasses.
Thank you very much for having me.